Hi everybody, and this is Spear Jester with another match between SupahKyle spawning as the pink Zerg on the top right of the map, and Starslip spawning as the teal Protoss on the bottom left. The map is Steps of War, which is the map no longer on the ladder. It's a map that you just don't see too often anymore. Very Protoss or Terran favored as opposed to Zerg. And here casting with me for Game 3, casting this whole matchup with me rather, is Sacred.
Hey guys.
No,
And girls, if you're watching.
yeah,
Let's be fair here.
real
You never
chick
know.
magnet. At any rate, in the first matchup, we saw all Starslip taking the win, but largely due to a good macro game on his part. Kyle following behind, and then game 2, Kyle managed to take the win on Metalopolis with just constant pressure and wrecking Starslip's economy. Starslip barely able to just fend off Kyle's earlier attacks. It's going to be very interesting to see how the gameplay is going to develop in this round, especially with such an old map. I think the old maps are actually interesting now that I look back on it. I mean, they're not exactly balanced necessarily, but because they're not balanced and because they're not so played, it's very interesting to see, watch gameplay unfold.
Now, since we didn't have a chance to observe this game while they played, who do you think wins this third game?
I think it's really hard to say. Kyle looks like he's going for a standard opener, and it sounds like it doesn't look like Starslip is going for expansion. But it's really hard to say. I'm going to call it on SupahKyle. But we'll see.
I'm gonna have to agree. I think the Zerg will win this one.
Now,
I mean, once, like, as soon as you take your second, you just take a couple Zerglings, you take out those rocks, and then you have a pretty easy third. It's a little hard to defend with the other ramp. Like, you can put Zealots up there pretty quickly, but a three-base Zerg, kinda scary.
Right. We are seeing a standard opener from Starslip, the Gateway, the Assimilator, and the Cybernetics Core. So it's kind of hard to, this early in the game, to see what Starslip might be going up for. The first two games they go for fast expansions. I believe the first one was a 1 gig expand, and the second one was a fast forward expand. Kyle, on the other hand, just playing standard. 14 gas, 14 pool, I believe, and a pretty safe opening, really, and I think that's what he really needs because the distance between bases are so short. Starslip could easily just go 2-gate and lay on the pressure. But we are seeing the robotics spade going down. We are seeing another gateway going down, and Starslip is waiting for the expansion from Kyle.
Kyle might take a fast gold expansion.
Oh, I did not spot that.
He's got a drone up there, just kind of sitting. Oh, and there it goes.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of don't know what Blizzard was thinking, but I don't really like the positions on these Zelnaga towers, even though they're kind of good because you can see if their opponent's got the gold. I mean, the whole point of it really is to see if you're going to have enemies coming or what's happening in the middle of the map, and they're kind of off to the side.
Yes, these earlier maps are definitely kind of weird. You see a lot of maps that play on, and you can definitely tell that they're just not balanced. Like, there's one map where it's just islands, and that's definitely Terran favored. This map was on the ladder pool, I believe, for 1v1s, but I don't think it was on there for very long. And you definitely don't see it in play. Although I will say, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Force Strategy Gaming, but I did do a fan game with them, and it was actually 5 versus 5, and it was actually on this map. It was pretty hilarious.
So we do have a pretty, well, I guess it's pretty standard +1. The hatch is finishing up at the gold, and we got a very quick immortal out.
Yes, I think Starslip is suspecting roaches, although there is a roach warren down, but Starslip hasn't done any scouting since that earlier probe. So he's kind of blind countering with the Immortal right now. And although there is a roach warren on the field, because he didn't scout and because he doesn't know that roach warren's there, I think he would have done better with getting a sentry. He has no sentries out on the field, and sentries do well to hold off early Zergling run-bys.
Now he is getting a War Prism.
Oh, we could be seeing a drop with that Immortal. That would be great if we saw that. Although it looks like he's just going to go ahead and head straight for the straight for a drop, but Kyle is going to see that coming in with control over this tower. What we'll probably see is Starslip pushing in with the with these units, and then warping units in the back. And he still has no idea that Kyle has the gold right now, so Kyle's sitting pretty alright right now. Especially at 29 drones, I feel like he could drone up a little bit more, but it is what it is.
Does have a lot of lings out though too. I think he's gonna go for a plus, like just a +1 timing once more.
Oh.
Maybe try to get that early pressure.
Here comes the warp in. Oh, man, I feel like this was wasted. And there's really not, if you look at the map, there's really not too much, where the President's sitting right now is not very good. Kyle could just get his queen and snipe that. Oh man.
What you
have is there?
It looks like he does, but the Warp Prism will get away.
And the Warp Prism does get away. He is getting more and more out. I think, I'm not quite sure if he saw the, no, at this time he definitely saw the roach warren, but I'm not sure if he saw the roaches, but at this point he is going to see that there are roaches in the field, not quite in large numbers, but there is 4, and there's potential to have more.
There is a Spire going down.
And Starslip's going to see that, so hopefully Starslip will lay down a pylon by his main and a couple of cannons to deter harassment. Still 1 basing. Kyle basically 2 basing, having grabbed that, or not basically, but basically 3 basing, having grabbed that gold, because you mine a lot faster grabbing the gold.
Now he doesn't have a forge out, but he is getting blink, and he's got 3 gates. I don't know. I think when that Spire finishes,
I think Starslip is going to be in really big trouble here when the Spire finishes. He's just not ready. I'm pretty sure he scouted that Spire. Well, he definitely is still definitely in his vision.
He has the Observer in the base, yes.
So it really surprises me that, and he's going for expansion. I'm not quite sure where Starslip is thinking. There is a changeling in the base right now. I don't think Starslip knows this. I think that's hilarious. Oh, there it is. Oh man, that's really sad. Oh man, changelings are very underused.
It's free scouting. I mean, you don't even use Contaminate on the Overseer anyway. Well, I don't see any people using Contaminate. It's a free scout. That's all it is. Yeah. It's just like using a Zergling to go scout.
Yep. I definitely think that a priority for Zerg players when they get their lair, and especially if they can afford it, is to either go with the pneumatized carapace, which, for those of you who don't know, is the speed upgrade for overlords to make them more useful for scouting, or just useful in general, or getting the Overseer. Overseer is always a good investment. I also think whatever you're tech into, mutas, festers, whatever, you should definitely drop that tech structure necessary for.
We have 5 mutas on the field with +1 for mutas coming on.
Oh, this is funny. Kyle is going for not necessarily a proxy hatch, but the hatch is sitting over by his base, and I don't think Starslip is probably go the whole game without scouting that. He's already gone the whole game without scouting the second, and really at this point, when Starslip brings up his observer and doesn't see that the second is down, he should be wondering what the fuck. But
I agree. There should be a what the fuck coming from him any minute now.
I really think that's probably why he grabbed that second. He probably grabbed the second thinking, oh, well, I'm probably ahead of the economy, and if I grab a second, I'll be super ahead. So that's probably why we saw that expansion coming in from him. But as we see here, Mules are on the field, and they are in really powerful numbers, especially considering what Starslip has, or rather what he doesn't have. He has Blink, which will work great against the Mules, but not when his stalkers are in such low numbers.
And there's no pylons in the main, so he has to warp away, then walk the stalkers, or blink them, or waste the blink to get them there quicker.
He is going to be pulling pros back to his second. Hopefully we'll see. I don't believe he has a... still doesn't have a forge down. This is not looking too good. And this could very easily end the game for Starslip.
Yeah, looks like he's got his forces in the middle. Starslip is
in a bad position. It's just
pushing out when he shouldn't.
Starslip is going to have to push in, and he's going to have to push in now for all in, because he's really behind in the economy, whether he realizes or not. And he's going to have to force his opponent. Now, Starslip is probably what the fucking right now, because he thinks his opponent is working off just one base. Which is a silly assumption, especially this far into the game, and especially against Zerg. And at this point, we're going to see his forces get whittled down. Zergling's just too far.
That's gonna be GG.
And we get the GG from Starslip, and that concludes this best of 3 matchup. Now, this is I really feel like Starslip played. He definitely played a lot better, obviously, in the first game when he took that win. But his play in the second match, he still played very well considering. But in this third game, I'm just kind of wondering what happened to Starslip. It's almost like he choked.
He just didn't scout. He never had control of a single watchtower, which you always at least want to try to go for control of those, even if you're not scouting with an observer. Never knew about the proxy hatch. Never knew about the gold.
Yes, I think Starslip really lost the game because of his lack of scouting. I think he would have made better decisions if he knew that Kyle went for that expansion at the gold. Definitely probably would have seen some pressure on the gold, but as it was, it just seems like Starslip was just idling by while Kyle just macroed up.
And then even when he had the observer sitting in the base the entire time the spire was building, and in that time frame he only warped in about maybe 10 more stalkers, and you need more than that to deal with mutas, even with blink.
And it's very odd too, because Starslip was doing so well in the first 2 games, probing up. Even in the second game when he kept constantly getting pressured, his probe count didn't fall too far below, and even though he was barely floating, he was able to get the economy he needed to keep fending off attacks. But in this game, it's just, I don't know what he was doing. Not to say that he's a bad player. Every time I see a replay from Starslip, he's always improving, but this just really isn't showcasing what he could do. And Kyle really took this win. He just let Kyle sit back. We did see a prison drop earlier, but it was very ineffective, and he immediately pulled back, and we didn't see anything else from Starslip. Very unfortunate. But anyways, that concludes this best of 3 matchup. Kyle taking the second and third win for this friendly skirmish between both these POA members. And we will definitely see more from them in the future. Yeah, that concludes this. And hopefully Sacred here could help co-cast future games. Now, if you have any games that you want casted, please feel free to visit the link below. I will be leaving a link in the description where you can post your replays, and me and Sacred will be happy to cast them. Also, if you have any feedback, leave comments below in the YouTube channel. Sacred, you have any last words?
Not really. Scout, people. Keep scouting.
And, there you have it. Anyways, Jester out, and tune in for more. A link in the description where you can post your replays, and me and Sager will be happy to cast them. Also, if you have any feedback, leave comments below in the YouTube channel. Sager, you have any last words?
Not really. Scout, people. Keep scouting.
And there you have it. Anyways, Jester out, and tune in for more.